Welcome back, everybody, to this wonderful Friday here. It is the end of the week. It's Friday. This is the day before, the Saturday on the 30th. It's the day of Megumi's death. So I believe the 29th, I think Shachi and Yuna are, I think they're planning something here. So we're going to go ahead and just find out. Maybe I'm wrong there, but it did seem like they were kind of being sneaky together, and we're not really sure why. The only guess I have is that they're planning something for Megumi. Tomorrow, on Saturday, June will be over. I've never had any use for calendars since becoming a ghost, but this last day of June is an exception. For me and Megumi, it's a special day, so she has remembered. Megumi was worried that Shachi wouldn't remember, so it does seem like she remembers. It's the day Megumi became a ghost and appeared before me. The day my existence as a solitary spirit came to an end. And the day I gained a beloved, adorable sweetheart. The rainy season hasn't ended yet, but the sky was very clear today. There were a few obnoxious clouds, but the sun still shone through the slightly overcast summer sky. The temperature must have been fairly comfortable as well. For the first time in a while, girls were bringing their lunches and liveliness onto the roof. Yuna had come too. It had been a while since we'd spoken with her like that, with Megumi and I on either side of her. I wonder if Sasa managed to confess. That was the result of our most recent assistance. Yumi, Sasa, and Nina, the three who are always together. Sasa had been wanting to confess to Yumi, and she had gotten a perfect opportunity. Yuna-san had succeeded in holding Nina back to give the two time alone. She had been humble, saying she hadn't done anything herself, but she had certainly tried. And thanks to her efforts, the two of them had left the school huddled together under one umbrella. I wonder what they spoke about on their way home. I have no idea, of course, since I can't leave the grounds. Even though I would like to think she did. I saw the three of them on Monday at the beginning of the week. They were all together like usual, of course. I felt something different in Sasa's heart. Amid the same captivation she felt for Yumi, there was a new sense of security. And she paid even more attention to Yumi than before. I could tell that Sasa would watch carefully whenever Yumi said or did something. And I sensed a faint love inside Yumi's heart as well. I could tell Sasa was holding a bit more of her attention too. I hope it goes well for them. Yep. Yuna responded shortly as she ate her lunch. I really do think Yuna is working quite hard for us. Listening to the requests of two spirits like us, the girl who used to eat lunch all alone on the roof, it seemed as though she expected she wouldn't want to do these sorts of things. Yet, after agreeing to help us, she's been thinking and acting much more than the two of us have. Yuna herself probably hasn't realized, no, won't admit it, but when she's working to help these girls, there's a definite vitality to her. Occasionally, she seems to realize that and worry, waver, hesitate, her feelings seem to sway. But there are fluctuations in her heart that I never sensed before when she ate alone on this roof. I have to admit, I enjoyed seeing these changes a little, and I wonder what causes Yuna to waver like that. I'm a little curious. I wonder if she'll tell us about it at some point. As for Maki and Miki, something seems to have happened between them. Really? Yes, they appear to be working together after school as usual, but they don't go to their hideout anymore at all. So did they fight or something? Things don't seem to be that bad between them, but they may be in a predicament. It's the same for Kiri and Tsukuyo. It doesn't seem to be going well for them either. Right. I don't expect every girl's love story to have a happy ending. Many girls at this school Oh man, let's start that one over. Many girls at this school have had their stories end in rejection. I've also watched girls whose relationships never progressed beyond friendship. However, things are different from how they used to be when I could only watch. Now I can give those girls a little bit of a push. I can mend some of their misunderstandings. Now we have Yuna, who can help us accomplish these things. We also found another girl. Alright, so I mean, everything's falling apart with what we've worked on and we're just moving right along, aren't we? Again? Yes, a girl who's found love for another girl. This one's a bit of an odd case. I can sense her feelings through the small conversations she has every morning. It's another girl in the same year as you, Yuna. Her name is Koba. Do you know her? I think we do know her. Who was that? Koba what? You mean Koba Yuka? Do you know her? Are you friends? You're right, it's Koba Yuka-chan. She's in love with a girl, huh? But... oh, you already knew. That's right, she runs to the school at the very last minute every morning. All so she can have a brief conversation with the girl in the disciplinary committee who stands at the gate. I'm sure I felt some love from her during those conversations. I see, so I think this is the little punk rocker girl that we met. We assumed she was in love with one of her bandmates, but it looks like we were wrong there. Yuna seems to know Yuka, but she's quite surprised. I wonder why. It could be surprising to find out someone you know is in love with a girl, though it seemed to be different sort of surprise. I suppose I don't need to inquire about that just now. There's nothing more important to do today after all. There's something more important to do today after all. Why don't we leave it at that for today then? Right, Megumi? Oh yes, Shachi. Megumi had left the whole conversation to Yuna and me. She hadn't said a word, but kept her eyes fixed in my direction the whole time. It looked like she'd had a few things she'd wanted to say. I knew the reason for Megumi's disposition, and I knew that it was my fault. I'm sorry, Megumi. I wanted to properly apologize to her, and to do that, I wanted to give her something of a gift. Megumi? I quietly went to Megumi's side. Huh? And I embraced her. There was none of her weight in my arms, of course, but I tried to emulate a gentle hug. I'm sorry, Megumi. It's not that I hadn't realized it. I remembered about June 30th. Oh. It's the day I gained a wonderful partner in love. Oh, Shachi. Megumi's head shook in my arms. Her brown wavy hair swayed. Her voice wavered unsteadily. I got a little ahead of myself with Yuna because I was so excited to have a new friend. I was having so much fun. I was so excited knowing I'd finally be able to do something for the girls in love at this school. I was so happy to be able to help them with Yuna. But it appears as if I've made you uneasy, Megumi. I'm sorry I didn't say anything about tomorrow up until now. Shachi? I was really worried that you might have forgotten, Shachi. I'm so glad you remembered. I really am. Could you forgive me, Megumi? As an apology, I have a little gift for you. Huh? Yuna, could you? Right, here you are. Yuna opened a paper bag she'd brought, separate from her lunch bag, and she removed it. 2 delicious-looking cupcakes, wrapped in clear cellophane and tied with ribbons. They were baked a beautiful golden brown. This is... I asked Yuna to make them for you. It's not something I can make on my own, but I wanted to give you some kind of gift. Shachi? Oh, don't cry. Do you like them, Megumi? Yes, I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm glad. I thanked Yuna and moved my hand as if to stroke Megumi's hair and keep the tears from her eyes. Thank you, Yuna, and I'm sorry you went to all that trouble to bake them for us, but we can't eat them. Oh, no, I'll take them home and make an offering of them, then eat them. Yes, please do. Will she put them at a household altar? It's not as if we'll be there, but I suppose I'm happy for the thought. You don't need to help us with anything after school today. Go ahead and take it easy. Alright, I will. Please do for this weekend. I'd like to spend it with Megumi after all. So I was pretty much right about what was happening. I just thought it was going to happen on the 30th. It seems odd to give someone a present a day early. But maybe Shachi couldn't bear to make Megumi wait any longer, so maybe that was her reason. And now they're alone together, and Megumi's happy again. And lunch ended, and Yuna returned to her classroom. Afternoon classes began and ended, and the school day came to a close. And after everyone left the school before the sunset, Megumi and I wandered all over the school to all the places we could both go together. Holding hands, discussing all sorts of things, we reminisced at each location about whether we'd talked about and done there before. And night, the clouds were thicker than they had been at noon, but stars still poked through the night sky between them. I was sitting on the bench where Yuna usually eats her lunch. Megumi's head lay on my lap. She was lying on the bench, her eyes closed and at ease. Even with Megumi's head against me, I didn't feel its weight. My perch on the bench was its own illusion too. Every so often, I would comb my fingers through Megumi's hair, or pat her head, or lay my hand on her shoulder. But it wasn't as if I felt anything. I was merely placing my hand on Megumi's hair, or head, or shoulder, and moving my fingers, yet I was sure I felt it, Megumi's body heat, her warmth, the fluffy sensation of her hair. I was sure of the feeling anyway, that the two of us were ghosts, wholly unable to touch, merely holding our bodies close. None of that mattered. Megumi? I could hear her quiet and steady breathing. Was she sleeping? We did a lot of walking today, but our bodies are ghostly, so we don't feel fatigue. We shouldn't have felt it, but we still seem weighed by a sense of contentment and desire to rest. I wonder if Megumi felt the same way, or if some of the anxiety I caused her had faded, and was she instead feeling relaxed? Megumi? I called her name once more, my adorable, beloved sweetheart. I'm so sorry for causing you so much anxiety. Thanks to Yuna, there have been changes occurring in our own quiet relationship. The two of us used to only be able to wander the school and observe, but that has definitely changed. I'm happy for that change. I've gained a new friend, and there are no longer days of feeling powerless. Ever since we started helping those girls with Yuna, every day has been fun for me. I'm sorry I didn't realize, but that caused Megumi's anxiety. I'm sorry it took me so long to notice that you weren't feeling well. On that day when you became a ghost and appeared before me, I was truly surprised, and I was surprised at the first words you said to me too. I was happy. I still remember it now. She was a girl I only knew by the moments our eyes met. She'd suddenly become a spirit, appeared before me, and right then confessed her love. You told me you loved me, and I accepted that. And afterward, as I spent my time with Megumi, I fell more and more in love with her. She's cute and a little jealous, and she loves me with all her might. She works to earn my love for her as well. I find those parts of her charming and precious. Megumi, who sleeps on my lap, I want to stay like this forever. I would happily let this moment last for eternity. But I want to touch you more certainly, so that the feel of you would remain in my fingers. Because you feel so strongly for me. Because you admire me so much. Because you entrust so much of your heart to me. Megumi, my dear, my love, I want to tell you that I love you more. I want to let you know I want to be the best lover that I can be to you. But I'm sorry, Megumi. I do nothing but lie. Uh-oh. That is sort of what I was afraid of. Before this day, and when Megumi was all worried about Shachi, and when we found out about Megumi's past, I was sort of worried that Shachi probably didn't feel the same way as Megumi and was kind of just playing along with it. And, 99% of that conversation, I was reassured that Shachi is in love with Megumi, but they left us off with that cliffhanger. A perfect cliffhanger to end this episode, actually. So next time we'll maybe just skip through some of these real quick. So this is the broadcasting club there. And that's the teacher, I think. And then this is the rocker girl. So next time we'll go through the, I guess we'll go through the broadcasting club trio, Sata and Yumi. We'll go through their story, and then we'll see how long that takes. Maybe we'll finish these ones off as well. But anyways, that's next time. I hope you guys can wait, because I don't know if I can. That was something else. Shachi ruined a lot of things. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time, and goodbye.